First.
Oh, right over there by Nevada First. You write a column for the Wall Street Journal. How can we read that column?
You can find that on Market Watch. If you Google Ken Roberts Market Watch, that'll take you to my columns on retirement planning.
All right, Ken, and clavicles still hanging in there okay?
Yeah, it's sore, but...
Sore. Now, did they put you in a sling or something, or what?
Yeah, just in a sling for now, then I'll follow up with a surgeon this week, see if it needs surgery, need a plate or something.
Oh, okay. God,
Those things hurt like heck, too.
and it's actually broke, huh?
Oh, yeah, 3 places.
Oh, jeez.
Ow. Well, if you need a second opinion, just ask me. I am a member of the Amateur Medical Association.
Okay.
And I do those surgeries a lot more reasonable than real doctors.
Yeah.
I'll keep that in mind.
Okay. Right, yeah. Last but not least, how can we contact you to have you take a look at our portfolio?
You can give me a call at 775-825-4555.
All right, Ken, you relax a little bit and take some pressure off that arm. We love you, man.
Thanks.
It's Ken Roberts, Fat Tail Trading. Give him a call. I actually let him rest today. That broken collarbone.
Oh, it's above it, so it hurts even worse.
I know that. At 3 places.
Yeah, I mean, you can't do anything. I mean, how's he going to put a shirt on? Oh.
Well, what do? You can't.
I know.
You wear like a robe, or you cut the shirts in half or something?
It's just a horrible break.
Yeah. What is this good break, bad break? So it's a good break if you're shooshing down the hill and you fall? That's considered a good break?
If it's a rateable fall.
A rateable fall?
Yeah, 1 to 10.
Okay. But if you're on the ski lift or you're in the parking lot and you fall, that's not considered good?
That's a bad one. That's a bad fall.
Okay.
I mean, because you get the same result. You break something.
Yeah, you got a broken
But
clavicle.
at least you can say, well, I went down and I dug my tip in, and next thing I know, or I hit a death cookie or something like that.
I was going 100 miles an hour and slid out and
And
broke my...
some shredder cut me off.
Cut me off. There
blah,
you
blah,
go.
blah.
I almost ran into a moose, so I had to...
Had 15 tumbles down there and 3 cartwheels, and that's a good one.
That's a good one.
From somebody from the chairlift would go, I'd give you a 4.
Oh.
I'd give you a 10.
Do they yell out when that happens?
I do.
You do? Gosh.
I rate the falls.
Oh, my. Well, so Ken had a good one. So now he's got a broken collarbone.
Oh, poor guy.
Oh, lovely. Well, let's go from Wall Street back to the third world nations, where the pavement ends and the dirt begins. The town slogan is Silver Springs. Huh? Yeah, the home of the longest continuous burning tire fire. And definitely the mayor of that town is no looker. Silver Springs, Nevada. We have Aaron. Hey, Aaron. What's up?
Do we have a mayor?
Yeah, you have a chairman of the town board.
Okay, a chairman. The chairman of the board, that's I hope it's kind of in memory to Frank. Disturbing news this morning for everybody on the glyphosate front. If you're a beer and wine drinker,
Don't wreck my day.
Yeah, Jim's paying attention now, so be careful. He
all
actually
right.
woke
Well,
up.
hey, one of my former favorite beers is on the list. So, but before we get there, House Agriculture Committee Chairman Mike Conaway. He's a Republican out of Texas, ladies and gentlemen. Whom do your elected officials represent? This is a quote from him. I will not support mandatory or on-package labeling because it stigmatizes the technology. I'm sorry. Now we're going to get into a couple things that disprove this gentleman's statement. And as David Suzuki says, any politician or scientist that says this GMO technology is safe, they're either very stupid or lying. Texas, take your pick what Mike Conaway is doing. I don't care. Glyphosate. Munich, 14 of their biggest selling beers in Germany have tested positive for glyphosate in the beers. Right, and one of my formerly favorite beers, Beck's, is on this list. The other beers are all actually local. I've never actually seen them in stores over here. So something to think about. If it's in Germany, ladies and gentlemen, guess what? It's everywhere in every beer. And again, they're using grains to make beers. So that's something to think about. And good news coming out, they didn't approve, the European Union did not approve glyphosate to be renewed, the use of that. So, and this is why. Glyphosate is considered, well, first off, $150 billion a year, the health costs from the side effects of this glyphosate. Glyphosate has now been classified as a hormone-hacking chemical. And one of the things, I don't know if anybody is familiar with what is called the endocrine system. Every human being has one. This is a disruptor. Of course, we have all heard the accusations that there's autism connections and other stuff like that, obesity. But one of the biggest telling things was a study that, oh, by the way, Monsanto paid for, if you will, in the late 70s, early 80s when they were developing this wonderful herbicide that they, meadow cleaner, they classify as an herbicide. I really wish they would quit calling glyphosate an herbicide, because that's not what it was designed for. It was designed as a meadow cleaner. It was developed as a meadow cleaner. And the fact that everybody's calling it an herbicide is kind of a misnomer. But one of the things that has happened here, Monsanto buried a study back in 1981. This is how long they have known there's a problem with glyphosate, ladies and gentlemen. 1981. I'm going to say that again. It's 35 years ago. 1981. For 35 years, this company has been lying to us, manipulating our Congress, and everybody that goes in there as an elected official to represent us. Your endocrine system includes the pineal gland, the pituitary gland, your pancreas, in females, ovaries, in males, the testes, the thyroid gland, parathyroid gland, I can't say this one, hypothalamus, the gastrointestinal tract, and the adrenal glands. Those are all in the system. And this product, glyphosate, has been classified as a hormone-hacking chemical, which means it stops all those glands from functioning correctly. Now, let's move on to the wine section for just a minute here. Wines tested from Napa Valley, Sonoma, and Mendocino counties. They tested 10 brands over there. Every single one of them came up with glyphosate. And, oh, by the way, some of those grape-producing wineries are certified organic. They still test positive for glyphosate.
How can they have that in there?
Well, that's a good question.
I mean, how would it get in there, too? Because grapes are normally, ripened on the vine.
According to the farmers, glyphosate-based herbicides are present in the manures. Why? Because they're feeding the animals the genetically modified grains. This is the same way that down in Brazil, when they started doing studies on women who don't do families that completely are, organic and do all this stuff, how did it get in their system? It got in the system because they were eating meat from the animals that are fed this grain.
Gotcha.
And so we have an issue with California. Now, California, keep in mind, folks, California just, they're putting a kind of a freeze on this, too. They're really starting to study the glyphosate issue. There was also a pig study, and this is another study Monsanto buries.
Don't be messing with my pork.
Okay, get a load of this. They took pigs and rats both. We gave them non-GMO corn, and we gave them GMO corn. Guess what happened to the GMO corn animals?
They got eaten first?
The first thing that happened to them was they all went sterile.
Oh.
Something to think about when you're putting some corn product on the food for little Jimmy and Susie this week, ladies and gentlemen. Do you want grandchildren?
That's
I don't know.
Problem.
Oh, there you go.
But here's something, I don't know if anybody knows this. California has 77 6,400 farms in California. They
No water.
Yes, they provide 400 commodities on the stock market, folks. 99% of artichokes, 99% of walnuts, 97% of kiwis, 97% of plums, 95% of celery, 95% of garlic, 89% cauliflower, 71% of spinach. This list goes on and on and on. California is the agriculture state in this country. And you know what? I've referenced this before. At one time, they were the sixth economy on the planet. Just that state was. What California does on this issue right here is going to dictate how things go in this country. I will guarantee it, because they are the agriculture king, hands down. You can't. Nobody produces like they produce.
Hey,
so,
Aaron,
yes.
What you forgot to do the one thing. You said that the German beer was going to be cleared, and you didn't say when.
I don't know that the German
You said
beer
that they were
is
going to run out of the glyphosate, whatever it is, and that they.
You know what? I don't have that on my thing. I just have the thing about Monsanto New.
Okay, sorry.
Let me see if I can find it real quick.
Don't worry about that. I mean, I was just curious if you knew when they're going to stop putting it in the beer, so people could.
Well, here's the problem. Again, all this product has been, when you start talking this GMO corn, and they start doing all this stuff to the corn, remember this, ladies and gentlemen, when they spray glyphosate on something, it dissipates, it washes, it does this. But when they start putting this product, when they start making things immune to a poison, or they start changing the DNA structure of a plant, that stays in the plant. It stays in the corn. It doesn't go anywhere. It can't. It goes into your system when you eat it. So when they're growing hops or barley or any other, even if it's rice wine, whatever type of alcohol that they're doing, whatever they're using to ferment, that is whether it be hops, grains, whatever, it's going to have something in it, because they're using the manures, the waste products of these animals. And of course, we all know animals don't digest everything they eat. That's why you sterilize it before you use it in production, so you get seeds out of it or what might be in there. This is something that doesn't get removed from the sterilization process.
All right, Aaron, we're coming up against a hard break. How do we contact you at Halliday LLC?
775-230-9915 on the telephone, folks. If you're in Texas, get on the phone and tell Mike Conaway, no, he's a bad man. www.Halliday LLC on the World Wide Web, folks. We got a little weather going on out here. I guess you guys do too. We got a lot of wind right now, and I can see water coming in. But it's going to be a great day because there is water coming in. Let's have a good time. Let's all be safe out there, folks.
All righty. That's Aaron from Silver Springs, Nevada, Halliday LLC. Let's take a quick break, but we will be back.
See ya.